Hello everyone, let me fix the camera here. There we go. Hello everyone, this is Pink Fluffy Sylveon, and today I'm going to be doing a live stream about the book The Virgin's Lover by Philippa Gregory, and I'm making this into a live stream because I have so much to say about this book. And this was another fail, and I bet some of you guys are out there. They see my videos and they said, well, if you don't like Philippa Gregory, then why are you, you might think, oh, why are you reading her stuff? Well, first of all, I have a playlist for the Cousins War and the Tutor series, and I do want to finish that. I started it, and now I do want to finish it. And also, there are a lot of books in that series that I do enjoy. I liked The Other Boleyn Girl. I liked The Lady of the Rivers. I liked The White Queen. The Red Queen was interesting, even though I didn't like the character. There were a lot of books in that series that are very good, but this one, unfortunately, was another fail. So let me explain what the story is about. The story is about Queen Elizabeth during the first 2 years of her reign, and she has come after Queen Mary has died, and all the people that Mary locked up and had tried for treason, they're all back with Elizabeth now, and one of the people that is there is her longtime friend, Robert Dudley. He becomes the Master of Horse for Queen Elizabeth. He's the person that takes care of all the pageantries and and all of the Queen's horses and all the guests' horses when they come to stay at the royal palace. But because they are longtime friends, he rises to better status. He's not there, I guess, physically he's not up there, but emotionally he spends a lot of time with the Queen, and he has a lot of influence, even though he does not have the position to back that up. And a lot of the courtiers don't like him because of that. They think that, his father was part of the Jane Grey plot, so he was executed for treason, and I believe also his grandfather was also executed for treason. So he has a long line of treacherous relatives in his family. And one of the guys that is really trying to have influence on the Queen is Secretary William Cecil. He actually has a place of power, and he thinks he's one of the ones that really thinks and expresses his deepest opinion that Sir Robert has too much influence on the Queen, and many people, they want him murdered and things like that. And there's also a little bit of romantic relationship between in this book. I don't know if it happened in real life, but in the book there is a romantic relationship between the quote-unquote Virgin Queen and the Master of Horse, Robert Dudley. And besides Queen Elizabeth and William Cecil and Robert Dudley, there's also Robert Dudley's wife, Amy Dudley, who lives out in the country, and she has no desire to go to court. I don't think Elizabeth wants her there, because in reality, Elizabeth hated when men brought their wives to court. She had to have women around her to to dress her and things like that. But she hated when her courtiers brought their wives to court. So I'm sure that the feeling was the same on both sides. And Amy Dudley just wants a peaceful life in the country with her husband, Sir Robert Dudley. And Robert Dudley doesn't want that. He wants all these palaces, and he wants to be close to the court because the court was the place to be in that time. And so there's a lot of conflict with that. And there's even a little bit of a mystery at the end, which that is one thing that I liked about the book. And but the problems that I had with this book is they are big problems. First of all, the portrayal of Elizabeth. Elizabeth I was one of the greatest monarchs. During her time, we had some of the best things to come out of England. We had, there's William Shakespeare. There were a lot of, people circle the globe. Arts were founded, and Elizabeth's England was pretty tolerant. Probably not as tolerant as England is today, obviously, but it was one of the more tolerant. She was one of the ones that said, and I hope I'm getting this quote right, "I shall not open windows into man's souls." She didn't think that people should be persecuted for her religion like her sister, Queen Mary. So she was one of the greatest monarchs of history. But in this book, she is portrayed as a weak woman that can't do anything and is just this vain woman that does not know what she's doing, and she needs the company, she needs the advice of men. And the thing that really ticks me off about this is because Philippa Gregory writes about nobodies in history and portrays them as these strong characters that have been judged and written out of history. But as soon as she has a stronger woman that she's able to write about, she turns her into this vain woman that can't do anything. So, okay, you like this as long as you like your advice about strong women, but if it's a woman of series that you don't like, because like I've said before, I do not think that Philippa Gregory likes the tutors very much. I think she thinks of them as usurpers, and I think that she thinks of them as I think she thinks of them as not the rightful heirs, and I think that she thinks that the Plantagenet should have been on the throne. But you had the opportunity, Philippa Gregory, to talk about a strong woman making policies back in the day when women didn't do that. And what do? We get this vain woman who's jealous of others, who's jealous of Mary, Queen of Scots, who can't do anything for herself. And you could have done so much with that, because she did so much. She defeated the Spanish Armada, and she used marriage because everyone wanted her to marry, to get a Protestant heir on the throne. And she used marriage as a kind of a bargaining chip. She knew exactly what she was doing. Why didn't you do this? Oh, that's because you don't like the tutors, right? You don't like the tutors, and you want to portray them as in the most negative light as possible. I mean, Christy, what's her name? Oh gosh, Christine Lansky, I think her name was. I reviewed her book about Queen Elizabeth during, like, as a Tudor princess. She did a better job in a children's book. She did a way better job. In that book, Queen Elizabeth wasn't even queen yet, and she did a way better job. And I believe the book I'm referring to is Elizabeth Red Rose of the House of Tudor. I reviewed that on my channel as well. But she did a way better job of portraying Elizabeth than Philippa Gregory. Oh gosh. And another woman that's also portrayed negatively is Amy Dudley. Amy Dudley is portrayed as this country hick. You can tell in her voice she has more of a country sounding voice, the equivalent, I guess, in the United Kingdom. I don't know if you'd call it that, but a more country dialect. And she's portrayed as, oh, I just want this simple life in the country and milking cows. She was a lady. She would have not have done that. She would have managed the home, but she would not have done that. And she's just this, and she's also showed as this person that can barely read. But I don't think that Robert Dudley would have married someone that could barely read or write. And she talks about having someone to trace the letters when she's writing to her husband, but in real life she was known to have a beautiful hand, a really nice handwriting. Why would you do that, Philippa Gregory? Oh, it's because you don't like the Tudors. But she wasn't a Tudor, so that doesn't make any sense. And even, and she talked about buying in real life, she talked about buying a nice gown to wear and things of that nature. So she was a lady. She would have managed the house, but she might not have done a lot of the manual labor that I know of. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong. But she was a lady. She would have managed the household and done all that. But it just ticks me off that Philippa Gregory is so fake, because sometimes she will portray women that had really nothing to do in history, and she'll portray them as these strong women. But as soon as you have a woman that is that was a strong woman back when women weren't seen to be strong, she portrays her as this stupid person. And you could have done so much with that. But since you don't like the Tudors, your prejudice shows in this writing. And it's disgraceful. Like I said, Catherine Lasky did a better job than you did in this book. In that book that Catherine Lasky wrote, Lasky was for children at a 6th grade level. That is just appalling. And you know what? I think she said something about and I think I said this in my last live stream about these books. She wrote, she said that the one about Jane Grey, I can't even think of it. See, that's how bad it was. I can't even think of the book now. Not Three Sisters, Three Queens. Oh God, I cannot think of it. right now. But the recent one that came out, she said it was her last book in the series. And you know what? I'm glad that it's her last book in the series. Go away and enjoy your money. Stop. Go away and enjoy your money. Because she's made millions probably on good amounts of money on these books. And I'm glad it's her last thing in the series. Because I'm probably not going to read any more series about her. Maybe her older stuff, because what I've noticed is that her older stuff is good. Maybe A Respectable Trade. I heard that that's good. But I'm probably not going to pick up another series of hers again. Because I'm just sick of her two-facedness. And this is why I made it a live stream, because now I'm just ranting about Philippa Gregory. And like I said before, there were books that I loved, and that's the only reason I'm finishing the series. Well, okay, it's not the only reason. The other reason is because I have a playlist, and I want people to be able to click on the playlists and watch them in order. So, that is why that's the two only reasons I'm really finishing this series. And I actually need to get on to reading The Constant Princess, which was a good book from what I remembered. It wasn't as offensive as this. Yeah. And add that to my playlist, because I'm pretty much, I believe I have read, wait, no, I have not read all. I have not read The Queen's Fool yet. I reread The Queen's Fool, but yet. So I think after that, I think I've read every single one, and I'm just gonna put them on in a playlist and forget about them. Not forget about them, but and have people watch them, and they can make their own opinion. And even though I'm ranting about the book, they can make their own opinion, which that's what I want, guys. I want you to make your own opinion. Just don't listen to me and be like, oh, this random person on YouTube said this, so it must suck. No, I'm not saying that. Well, I am saying that, but that's my own personal opinion. I'm not saying that if you like Philippa Gregory, you're gonna just go burn in hell. Like, no, I'm not saying that at all. So, and that's what I want people to do with my books and my reviews. Make your own opinion, and that's why I want the entire playlist to be, be there. And just, I want it to be there so people can watch them in order and enjoy them, and also maybe make their own decisions. And please, if you've read this book, I know she's a really popular author. If you've read this book, please let me know in the comment section below, because I really want to know what your thought is on this book and any of my other Philippa Gregory books, because there are a few on my channel that I have read. A lot on my channel that I have read, actually. So, that is all I wanted to say about this book, and there was a lot of ranting in this, I know, and that's why I made it into a live stream. So, please let me know in the comment section, and things like that. So, I will see you guys in the next video, and as an ending note, I can see why people like Alison Weir better. I know, I can see why the people like Alison Weir. So I'm done ranting. Bye guys.